lives, as is the competitive format here, has been for the last month or so. But not really sure what to really expect from either team. I mean, we've only seen maybe a few of these players play. WBC Sky, not sure if this is the same team that was WBC Sky a couple of months ago when they played AG. Maybe they made some change-ups, but definitely great to see him back here and making it into the semifinals tonight. Fortunately for both these teams, Rockets Esports wasn't able to hit the check-in deadline here, so they are not a part of the competition here. So kind of anyone's game to get into that finals here.
Yeah, it really could be, like I said, it could be quite interesting to see who's going to be taking on Where's Baldo. Obviously, given what we've seen in the past, Rockets Esports, Where's Baldo kind of on a level of their own. So we'll have to see if any of these teams can kind of show that they've maybe have caught up in the past week, but I'd be hard-pressed to believe something like that at this rate.
It's possible, and it looks like we're going to be having Pharah v. Pharah come out from both sides. We'll see if Stray wants to stick with that Doomfist. Probably not going to be the case, though. Going to hop over to D.Va, and more than likely a Mercy coming out from both these sides. So it's going to be fairly similar compositions, actually possibly the exact same compositions coming out from both teams here. So kind of going to be a battle of the Tracers and a battle of who can land those rockets in the air, as Zoom and Derek are going to be going at it.
Yeah, not really a surprise at all, given how strong Mercy is right now in the current meta. You certainly want to play that up, and given that Pharah is also strong as well, Tracer, just a comp that makes sense.
Right away, losing Frodo, not going to be a good start. Going to bring Derek back up into this one. Is Frodo going to come back as well? Those Mercy reses, of course, going to play an important part in the early stages of the fight. But with Stray being D-mech, that could open up a good line of sight for Derek. He's actually going to be killed off. And the Savages getting off to a pretty strong start here.
Yeah, really good start, considering the fact that Zoom actually took Derek out quite early. And again, just the power of that instant Mercy res to keep the tempo going kind of smoothly is really strong. It really kind of helped Savages control that fight there.
They really didn't even have to worry too much about Zoom, to be honest. I mean, D.Va's doing a pretty solid job. It's Hui, of course, on the D.Va, so of course he's going to be doing a terrific job in terms of gobbling up those rockets. Again, they're actually going to take it to him. Frodo way back there, taken down by the dive, as Derek is not contested whatsoever here. And he's just going to continue to control the skies. They have that Mercy ultimate to use as well, and looking pretty safe.
Really good control from these guys so far, and I think the biggest thing is that they just haven't had to use anything to be able to win these fights so handily. I mean, look at their ult charges right now. Yeah, they don't have everything available, but they've been generating quite quickly, and they haven't had to use anything. That's the big thing here.
That's the important part. Hui going to toss out the... Oh, he actually forces Zoom off the map. He wasn't able to get out of sight here, so that's going to be pretty much a kill coming out for Hui. In the meantime, though, Dino is going to get dropped, as Derek wasn't really contested with that rocket barrage, so they're able to turn this one back around. Derek needs to be dealt with. We'll see if Stray can keep it, or excuse me, Hui can keep himself alive. It looks like they're going to be able to D-mech Stray and, again, win that fight, now up to 70%.
So again, an unfortunate start for the Savages, and still hanging on. Tekka wound up pulse bombing himself in that last fight, but was able to at least D-mech D.Va in the process, so was able to get back rather quickly due to the mobility that you see Tracer having. So again, hanging on even after not the cleanest of starts.
They should be able to win this one. I mean, 10% to go. We'll see one final opportunity. Smeagol is contesting, looking for a pulse bomb kill potentially here, but Zoom now with the rocket barrage. Not a whole lot of targets other than Hui, who was able to get to safety. The Resurrect, the Valkyrie actually used from the side of Jiggle Buns as a sound barrier comes out from Owl as well. They're looking pretty healthy other than Hui, who is in danger of losing his mech here. But regardless, the fact that Stray is now out of his mech, they're in overtime. Still contesting the point, but kills are going to the Savages. They still have a pulse bomb used from Tekka. The double kill comes out. Hui with the self-destruct. They should be able to clean this one up as long as they can take care of Frodo, who's going to be out of the fight here. That's going to be round one going to the Savages.
Not the cleanest from the Savages, but definitely quite clean in the fact of they got 100-0, man. I mean, they cleaned them out pretty well. Really good stuff from Tekka there at the very end. Just great pulse bomb, just throwing it down onto the Winston to make sure that when he did pop that barrier down, if he wanted to stay in that, if he wanted to stay safe, he was going to die. So there was no safe option for him after that res, shutting that down after also cleaning up the Mercy. So that last fight was probably one of the more clean fights, I would say, for the Savages, outside of maybe the first one where we only saw Derek going down initially, and then after that it was just a easy sweep for them. Going into this next map here, though, we're going to be seeing a lot of Junkrat action for sure. Although we will see a Roadhog, so triple tank coming out, single DPS Roadhog here for WBC Sky.
Trying to change it up a little bit, as you know, it didn't quite work from last time. Tekka as well on the Soldier 76. Good to see him kind of change up as to what he's doing as the Reinhardt v Reinhardt shield battle goes on. But Tekka kind of with the flank over here. We'll see if they're going to bring him back up. Yeah, Ace of Spades going to be back in this fight. So ultimately, they've got that Mercy. No, it didn't look like Jiggle was able to grab anyone here, and they are just going to clean them up across the board as Smeagol forced out of this fight.
Savages, who were, you know, sitting, there's a couple guys, Derek, you know, like they were sitting there at like 30% HP and still were able to just kind of help each other out, make sure that they had really great defenses. Barrier was having some good uptime due to Ace of Spades, really good about making sure he knows when to actually block, not always keeping it up and everything like that. And Hui, really great shields there as well to just maintain composure, and they were able to push through after a while.
They did actually move Smeagol over to that McCree off of the Roadhog. Riptire out there, able to find Derek behind the shield, but he's going to be brought back up, of course. They don't have that Resurrect ready to go. Now Riptire comes out, is going to be taken down here, but no, oh man, Frodo gets dropped. And this should be another cleanup, and Hui here. Man, talk about this guy who has been cleaning up the board on the last couple of rounds. He has been unstoppable with the Zarya.
Yeah, I remember seeing him months ago on a Zarya and just thinking, like, this guy is quite good about knowing when to shield and kind of protect his teammates and everything like that. We saw it in that first fight where I was talking about it, just with those projected barriers, really good about making sure that he not only had high energy, but also was saving his teammates from death. That's big against a Junkrat, and he's done quite a good job so far with that.
The follow-up wasn't quite there for the Graviton Surge. A well-timed sound barrier from Owl is enough to keep them healthy, Curix, and they will follow through with the kills. It was good placement from the side of Stray, but unfortunately, they couldn't power past that barrier, Curix, and now they're up to 70% and in danger of pretty much making this one final fight. Otherwise, it's going to be a clean 2-0 here for the side of the Savages.
There's going to be a lot of damage that they have to work around here. Graviton at the ready for Hui. Can the Riptire find anything on the side?
Going through, going over the wall. No, gonna get caught by the Fire Strike. Graviton Surge now out from the side of the Savages. Riptire into it, finds a kill. The Earth Shatter comes down. Not enough, though, from Frodo, and they are going to be able to come through. Jiggle is able to grab Freeze back up into this one, but Curix, it's just the Lucio. They pop the Valkyrie, gets Frodo way in the back, tries to contest the point as Ace of Spades is going to be dropped. Deadeye's out from Smeagol. Maybe an opportunity to pull this back. It's just Junkrat, Lucio, and 76 on the side. But again, Jiggle able to get Frodo back into this one as Dino comes through, gets Hui here. It's so back and forth. Gotta remember, though, we're in overtime right now. Can Ace of Spades make the difference?
Hui getting back up, somehow maintaining himself. Great projected barrier there. Now has to shut down the McCree. If they can find this kill and maybe start looking at that Mercy, they might be able to figure something out here. Mercy's down pretty low. They find the kill. They can clean this up here.
And that's going to be round 2, going over to the Savages, as it's a clean 100-0 across both rounds, taking a 1-0 lead here in the semifinals as we move to Dorado for the next game.
Really great stuff there. I mean, again, just maintaining composure. That's the biggest thing that we saw from the Savages here, was that even though there was some times where it looked like they might have been faltering a little bit and there were some openings here for WBC Sky to start exploiting, they just held on every single time. You saw Dino just doing such a good job. You can see the defensive assist there also helping out offensively as well. I mean, it just seems from a collective standpoint, not just from the support, which obviously I'm hyping up a little right now, but on top of that, you got guys like Hui, Ace of Spades, really good job at making sure that everybody kind of stayed up while their DPS was able to kind of find those kills. Space was created, really good stuff from these guys as a team, and I don't know, I mean, while it might seem far-fetched to believe that Savages are going to be able to, you know, take it to Where's Baldo, maybe this is the team. Maybe this is the team that might be able to show up here in the finals and maybe take these guys on and really kind of put on a show for us.
Well, we are going to be heading to Dorado for the next map here. As I change up the bracket because WBC Sky never checked in. Automatically reported a loss, but that is not the case. Do I sound robot kind of like to you? Or is
yeah, absolutely.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, then it must be my internet.
Well, it might be just changing
the thing is, you sound very robot to me.
We'll change the region on Discord here.
You sound fine now. Let me try changing the region. Let's see
NA
here.
production.
How
Hell yeah.
NA production. Let's go US West. Hopefully that works a little bit better. We'll see. My internet has been a little choppy as of late. Not sure if that's ever really going to get fixed, but we are headed to Dorado. WBC Sky will be on the blue. That means they will be defending first, of course, and they're going to have pretty much a huge turnaround if they want any shot of winning this map here. It's because nothing went their way that match. Maybe at the end of the second round, but the respawns came out for the side of the Savages, and Ace of Spades, Dino, able to keep themselves healthy in that final fight and take away with a pretty clean victory. So anything in particular you think WBC Sky needs to look to shut down to be able to try to win this one?
Well, I mean, maybe not shut down. I really think it comes down to just making sure that they have good strat execution, because obviously when it comes down to just a scrappy fight, the mechanical skill difference that we've seen just in that King of the Hill match right there, just the utter dominance that we saw in the team fights, in terms of coordinating ultimates, coordinating, how to play off of each other, that kind of stuff. Maybe Savages seem like they are just a tiny bit ahead, so maybe some strat execution here. I think we actually saw it with WBC Fire last week as well, where, in King of the Hill, they weren't so great, but then as soon as they go to a payload type map, they actually were quite good, and maybe Sky here is going to kind of emulate that to some degree, and maybe they're going to be able to kind of pull something out here. I think to some degree you really need to kind of be able to shut down the DPS. Tech is going to be a major issue here. Definitely have to look out for Hui no matter what he's going to be on. Typically, he's probably going to be on that flex tank, but if he gets on that Zarya against a Junkrat, which we're looking like what we're going to be seeing defensively here from Smeagol, that could be a little bit of an issue, as he's going to get a lot of gravitons that they're going to have to worry about, with a lot of finishing potential from Tekka for sure, and Derek as well.
They're going to be breaking out that Pharah again here on offense. We'll see if Zoom can actually deal with him and what sort of an impact Smeagol in particular will be able to make. Not necessarily against the Pharah, but the fact that there is one can be a little disruptive for him. But right away, Dino's out of the fight. Not a good start for them. But the fact that Zoom gets back up is going to make it a 6-on-5 here. It's kind of going to allow Smeagol and the rest of the company to try to get aggressive. But no, Smeagol oversteps his boundaries. He drops down on the wrong side there, and this should be an easy cleanup for the side of the Savages.
Yeah, going back to what we were talking about just a moment ago, a big reason why you have to deal with Tekka is because as strong as Mercy is, Tracer is very good about denying that Mercy play, and if you can actually have the advantage of having a Mercy over there not having a Mercy, that's gonna be a huge boon to your team here, and they're able to hold on here, but again, they have to make sure that Tekka and the rest of these guys here, Derek as well, don't get inside of the back line and just try to take down Jingle Buns, because if they find that kill, it's going to be rough for them to continue. They won't have that res.
Well, they did do a good job of cleaning that one back up, getting Zoom back into the fight, and now he's sitting on a tactical visor, which is going to be pretty good, given that Derek is kind of going to be open to, taking some of that pressure. We'll see what kind of a... Oh, nope. Hui has DC'd here, so...
I feel like this isn't the first time that Hui's DC'd before. I feel like we've seen him DC on something else before, like that we were casting.
At some point, more than likely.
I'm pretty sure that that's a thing. Like I'm fairly confident saying that. Not that it means anything, but just something that, like, as soon as I saw Yuma's Hui has left the game, it like triggered post-traumatic stress disorder, and I just like immediately got anxiety, and I just remembered.
Well, it's a good thing that you had said uh-oh, because they didn't even ask for a pause. Otherwise, I would have had no clue, at least for another 10 seconds or so. But as I was saying, yeah, I honestly don't remember what his ultimate was at, but it was Hui. So he was more than likely about to hit it, which is very unfortunate for him. Looks like he is back in the game. Might kind of hinder some of their progress they could have been making over the next minute or so here. I mean, they're down 90 seconds going against the Tactical Visor and Valkyrie. That's already good to go from Jiggle. Not ready to go from Dino. Still 35% off. Could be rough for these guys.
Yeah, it's never good when you lose that ult charge for sure, but D.Va maybe not the most impactful thing to lose. I mean, it's not maybe as integral. Obviously, you would like to have it even just for a health reset or something like that, just to get your mech back. But we'll have to see. Tekka going into the backline once again, pressuring out, and there's the barrage coming out from Derek. Finds only one.
Yeah, so much of that was actually gobbled up by Stray there with the defense matrix. Now we see the Primal Rage out there and a sound barrier coming out from the defense, who are still pretty healthy right now. Zoom with the tactical visor up here, looking to get something, but Hui gonna block a lot of that damage. As soon as he's out of the mech, it's Zoom cleaning it up. Smeagol as well contributed big time to demeching Hui, allowing that 76 to kind of open up that line of sight here, and they make a strong stand.
It's very hard to break in to a defensive hold such as this. Again, just really, really good kind of lane defense that we're seeing, just shooting down main. Junkrat just kind of denying that lane completely from them with those little grenades. And I mean, honestly, on top of that, as soon as you pull in, you have that threat of the Soldier to take down Derek. As soon as he goes for the barrage, he needs to find that kill of Soldier so they don't have to worry about that hit scan threat as well.
And finding an opening kill there, forcing out that resurrect is going to be big, because they're kind of forced to push in off of this regardless. But the fact that they pick off Jiggle as the first kill is going to be big. They still have 4 on the defense. Tekka might be able to pull this in their favor, and it looks like they've got the numbers. They should be able to secure this one, especially now that Frodo's out of this one. There is no way they're going to be able to make a stand. First checkpoint secured. Definitely took a lot longer than I anticipated. Over 3 minutes for that one here, but we'll see if this momentum can kind of carry him to that second checkpoint.
I don't know if it's going to carry them all that way. It might be able to get them to that first corner, but they're going to have a tough fight ahead of them to make sure that they're able to continue this pressure without stopping at all, because that's obviously the name of the game. You certainly want to get to that checkpoint as fast as possible, but we're seeing ultimates coming out from both of the frontline tanks here as they're looking for the Mercy in the backline, but I don't think they're going to find it, especially as Dino has already gotten killed off here, so they're 5v6 here to start things off.
Definitely like that self-destruct from Hui. Force them all off of the high ground. Put them into a reasonable, kind of location there for Derek to try to clean up along with Tekka. But they might be able to pull this back now. A barrage up top. It's the Winston in the air. The flying Winston finds the kill. But in the end, the respawns are plenty here for the side of the Savages, who will continue to move forward with that payload. And it looks like they're sitting on a sound barrier from both sides. So this next fight could be a little interesting here, especially since the defense now have a Valkyrie. Now they're going to be definitely in there with both support ultimates there. They're going to have the advantage.
You see Zoom with a pretty great ultimate there. Tactical Visor is going to be a great boon here for these guys, as they're going to be looking to try to take Derek out of the sky. He's just waiting to go ahead and unleash that one. Has a little help as well from Jingle Buns as he coming back around. Has that damage bonus if he does need it, if the healing isn't going to be required. And he's going to pull it out right in the face of Derek here.
That sound barrier able to connect onto all 6 of them, as it looks like the Savages trying to play a little aggressive right now. But of course, those Resurrects kind of hurt him. Self-destruct out from Hui. Not able to find anybody, as it's going to be Frodo popping that Primal Rage on the payload, trying to contest that Winston primarily, it seems. As Zoom is actually in the backyard. He is not being contested whatsoever. Hui trying to get on top of him, but they're going to be able to hold off. Push him down to about 120 now, as Hui is going to be, of course, staggered big time. Probably forced off of the map.
Zoom, as you said, man, just kind of uncontested when he dropped back down. As soon as Derek is taken out of these fights, a lot of that pressure is just alleviated. It doesn't seem like there's really much left to kind of deal with Zoom, and he's down low pretty much right now, and he's got down to about 10 HP. Luckily, Derek's getting those heals finally, and this is what they need to do here. Force Zoom out of the fight as much as possible. Ace of Spades doing a great job of that, but needs to continue that pressure if they want to win this fight.
Oh no, the triple kill straight comes through with a massive self-destruct and basically eliminates any hope whatsoever from the Savages to be able to secure that second checkpoint here. And now down to 30 seconds or so. That's going to be enough for one final push. And again, Derek has to be so careful, because Zoom is ready to go with that Tactical Visor in just a moment. It's really going to be up to Hui and Ace of Spades to contest him. Find a way to do something about that high ground.
I'm looking to see how he's going to be able to pull this barrage out and have some great effect with it. He's going to take Frodo down pretty low here, but man, he almost gets taken out himself. They do demech though. That's great here for them as a start.
Visors out from Zoom. What can he find? Not a whole lot of targets other than Ace of Spades, who is sitting on top of him. They've got the numbers advantage on the defensive side. Self-destruct is out from Hui. Can he connect? Finds both support kills. What a game-changing play coming out here from the D.Va player, keeping their hopes alive. Still need to find a way to deal with both of these tanks from the side of the defense, and with Frodo now out of this Stray is going to be struggling. They have no healing whatsoever here. He's going to be DMAC. Second checkpoint confirmed in overtime.
Still, though, quite a solid defense. It's just been, it was both times that we saw them going in on what would actually be kind of like their last fight and then pushing it through. I mean, it's been incredibly close so far on this defensive hold. We'll see if they can actually make the final stop here before the last checkpoint, and that'll set them up nicely for this last point. But now, look at this, the aggression coming in from both sides.
So little time right now. It's going to be tough for these guys. Derek with a barrage up top, but the fact that they come through with two. Jiggle has Valkyrie. Is he going to use it? It looks like that's going to be the case, as Stray should be able to get back into his mech, but they don't have Smeagol on the board right now, so they are kind of lacking in terms of numbers, as that payload is still moving a little bit by bit. It's forcing WBC Sky to get a little too aggressive as Frodo gets back into the fight. Sound barrier now comes out from Owl. Wasn't quite able to hit Dino. He needs to keep himself healthy, otherwise this could be a failed push here. 25 seconds to go.
Wow, they just haven't found the picks. You need to find a pick to at least establish some kind of foothold. Oh, almost found one there into Ace of Spades, but he actually was able to just go ape for him there and just pull out the Primal Rage. He's healthy for now, but they need to get some healing in him quick if they want to hold this out. Now, without having that, they have to go for the res. They pick him back up, and they need to hold this on. Owl falling, though, that's going to be hard to keep going with.
Not the greatest sound barrier from Free, as he wasn't quite able to connect onto Spray, who lost his mech shortly after. Now Dino pops to Valkyrie. Is he going to be able to keep him healthy is the real question. Pulse bomb out from Tekka, finds the baby D.Va right now. Now with Frodo out of the fight, they don't have anybody to contest the payload other than 76 and Mercy. Smeagol might be able to keep himself alive for just a moment, but the self-destruct on the payload will secure it. And the Savages finding all three checkpoints in overtime here, X. Not quite as strong of a push as I had expected, but they get the job done.
Man, I mean, again, just going back to exactly what we talked about back on that King of the Hill map there on Lijiang Tower, it's composure. I mean, they just look so good, even in the face of just like complete and utter aggression there from the defensive side of WBC Sky. You know, they were still able to hold out. They lost Ace of Spades, picked them back up. Dino with the ability to kind of dive in there, find that res in their back line, and still get out. That composure is just insane. It's what drove them to that final objective point. Yeah, it was a little rocky getting there, but the point is that they got that third point now. All they have to do here is defend. All they have to do is find some way to stop them before that last point. Because if it does go into overtime and there's any extra time here for WBC Sky, it's going to be tough, because that extra time, it means you have to win that first fight. So really kind of the best strat here is to just make that stop at some point. Make sure you play smart. Don't try to make any really, kind of hard early decisions where you're just maybe like throwing a little bit too much at first point to try to see if you can make a stop there. If you can, hold out and then draw out more time later on or something like that. You just make the smart decisions and make the stops at some point before there. I know that seems obvious, but sometimes we see teams at this level making some weird mistakes where it's like they try to throw all their chips on the table on something that's not necessary when they've already got that third point. They're sitting solid here, and they just need to make sure that they play safe.
Well, we have the opportunity to witness the legendary Hui Roadhog, something that he had played quite a bit in the past, if I'm not mistaken. So taking a look at also a McCree and 76, probably expecting that Pharah to take to the skies quite a bit here. So should have a direct counter, to be honest. I mean, you don't have the D.Va to work with, but Tekka and Derek seem like they're capable of performing well in terms of that role. So we'll see what Zoom's able to do, and if they force him off of that Pharah.
A lot of hit scan pressure here, opting away from the Junkrat that we see a lot of times here, but certainly the Roadhog kind of takes us back, for sure, that we see from Hui, not only just in the sense of seeing him on it, but also just the old meta here, back, dating back to last year even.
Well, they are not going to screw around here. They're going to get right to it, play extremely aggressively. Nobody's on the payload, of course, but that doesn't seem to matter to these guys. Ace of Spades, it's Diva. Roadhog now back in the mix. Can he come up with the kills? He's in a pretty comfortable position, but again, it's only him and the Lucio, so I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to last here, especially since that spawn is so much farther away for them. But now with Mercy and 76 back into the mix, he finds Stray.
How is he alive?
Man, Hui is doing it. That self-sustain is imperative to a
Oh
success.
my
Finds
God.
Zoom, and single-handedly, Hui comes back into the fight, keeps their hopes of a first point hold alive.
I think it's pretty safe to say that. I think normally you and I would probably disagree with anybody saying single-handedly in terms of Overwatch, but it's incredibly safe to say it there for sure. This is probably one of the the only situations you could possibly do that, because that man just went off on these guys and saved that point for his team. The Savages now with another opportunity to make a hold here.
Quite a few coming up on the ultimates now. We'll see what they want to throw on the table. Whole Hog's out now from Hui. Kind of avoid the Diva for the most part, but regardless, it's Hui connecting onto Winston. Wasn't really around that defense matrix here, and they will clean it up all at the hands of that one ultimate right now used. Still sitting up both support ultimates from pretty much both sides, as looks like Free is going to be coming up on that shortly, but they only have 2 minutes to work with now.
And we're taking a look here. I mean, honestly, so many ults here for both sides. I'm just curious to see who's going to be trying to get aggressive first. I think we're going to be seeing it from the attacking side, which is the case normally, and a self-destruct going in right on top of that, pulling out the Deadeye, finds the kill onto Zoom.
Oh man, what a play. Tekka as well coming through with that tactical visor was pretty clutch, but I'm surprised that Barrage didn't kill him. I mean, he pretty much locked onto him. Of course, it locks very quickly, as opposed to the old days when it took a little bit of ramp-up time for that to really connect. And now with the Barrage out of the way, it's going to force Zoom over to a Genji. We'll see what he can hope to accomplish against these guys. I mean, Frodo now out of the fight. We'll see if Smeagol can come around the back end, maybe lands a kill, maybe get up to that pulse bomb. But this is going to be tricky, and a 6-on-5 misses the pulse bomb, and now they're going to be able to come through with that kill here. It's under 60 seconds remaining. And again, both support ultimates yet to be used this game from both sides.
That's absolutely crazy. But here's the thing. Given what we saw on that fight before last, you know, so many ults were pulled out. They make the swap from Zoom. So now it's really just about playing slow, trying to generate your ultimates as quickly as possible. Smeagol actually making a swap over to McCree, so they're going to be looking to try to make space with Zoom here for Smeagol to just try to get some flashbangs onto the front line and also try to find some kills from medium range. And they're going to dive right in here. This is maybe their last fight.
From both teams out with the sound barrier. Didn't look like Derek was quite hit with it. Earthshatter out as well. Dragon Blade now coming out from Zoom already. He's able to carve up the Lucio. Look at official buff, but no! Derek finds him with the Deadeye. Valkyrie now comes through as well, but it's only Stray remaining. He should be taken care of here. 8 seconds left in the match. Can they make it back in time? It's up to Frodo if he can. I'm not sure if it's going to be possible here. It's down to 1 second. Not going to be the case. And the Savages clean it up swiftly here in the second round, and they will